Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you're enjoying the content we're producing, then please consider following that link in the description below to become an Avenger today and join our Patreon. We have two tiers available, a $3 tier with access to an exclusive channel in our Discord, the Avengers Mansion, videos, live streams, and more, including content that we can't share publicly for risk of being stricken down due to material like leaks and spoilers. And at the $5 tier, you get everything in the $3 tier. In addition to that, you will become an Avengers Premium member, which you will be a founding Avenger, and you will make it to our Hall of Heroes. We have Fairy Cake Ed, Fly Guy 215, and One Shot, One Kill. I want to thank the three of you for your support and for being Avengers Premium member and producers. So it is greatly, greatly appreciated, and it helps keep this channel alive and keeps this content coming. So thank you. Now, we are going to dive right into it. The topic is a playable Nick Fury. And as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, leak or fake. There is no hard factual evidence to come from this. This comes by way of gregsanderspresents@gmail.com. Now, if you've been with the channel for a while, you know that we go through these emails with quite regularity. And on any given day, we have between 200 and it can be upward of 400 emails. And we have to sift through them. And it can be material that's photoshopped. It can be deep fakes. It can be any kind of material. And generally speaking, material like that, whenever it's visual, it's very easy to track down. It's very easy to prove and verify. On top of the fact, just working through marketing, it's very easy to get to the bottom of fakes. Now, it's not like going through reputable sources. You know, obviously, someone who's come to us, given us information, as has so often been the case here on this channel, and as you've seen even in our previous channel, where leaks have led to multiple takedowns and the loss of an entire channel, obviously, those reputable sources aren't scrutinized as much, because I, at that point, consider them reputable. I'm not going to kind of run them through the ringer every time at that point. But this is new, and this is exciting for me. It's a different topic, and only rarely do we get Marvel's Avengers information. And most of the time that we do, it's legitimate junk that I brush off and ignore. It's not worth discussing because it's not even within the realm of possibility. It's genuinely just junk. This feels like there's a kernel of truth here. It feels like there's something here. Now, that's completely, obviously, just to be upfront, that is a bias. That's an inherent bias because I'm interested in something new. I'm interested in something different, and I'm interested in something I didn't know about. Obviously, you followed this channel, and if you were here even during the beta last year of Marvel's Avengers, you know we've run that game through the ringer in terms of data mining. We've pretty much laid it bare. So whenever there's something to surprise us, I am going to be a little bit more engaged, and this is a topic that engages me. Now, leak or fake, you'll have to decide on that, and we will follow it down the rabbit hole the best we can. But since you're here, I'm taking you along for the ride. So put on your blindfold and get in the back of the van. It's time to go. As it stands, and again, this is all purported, this is all from the individual, but so they say, when they were working on Marvel's Avengers, Nick Fury was being worked on as a playable character. Now, this is interesting. There is no proof here. There's no visual information, and at the time of recording this video, I've not heard back from them. I've requested any kind of visual proof, any kind of evidence toward their identity, anything that they're comfortable sharing, but I haven't got a single response on that yet. I still wanted to go on and run with this for discussion, and as far as I'm concerned, we're being completely transparent and upfront, therefore, we're just going along for the ride, because it is something different. But I think, like, in my bias, and this is why this topic engages me, I think Nick Fury could be a logical playable character. His mechanics would work. I mean, he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., for God's sake. He's he could have interesting mechanics. Again, you have Black Widow. We know that Winter Soldier's coming, so you have characters who use guns. His heroic or ultimate ability could be tied into a helicarrier raining down, any kind of nonsense like that. But it works. I mean, there is a possibility for Nick Fury to be playable, and Nick Fury's been playable in games before. Like, Nick Fury isn't some kind of untouchable NPC. He can be a playable character and be interesting. I mean, if Winter Soldier and Black Widow can be playable characters, if Hawkeye can be a playable character, then Nick Fury can be a playable character as well. He is the spy's spy, as it were. His secrets have secrets. So I think this is interesting. Now, they go on to explain, and again, I will admit, some of this feels like fluff. Some of this feels like, well, I don't know if, like, you can say all of this, but it doesn't really give any way toward authenticity or legitimacy. And again, as I want to point out, because I'm not going to give all of this airtime, every little story here, especially since we can't verify it. So anything negative that is in this email, I'm not going to share. To me, it's not going to do any good. It's not going to do to share any information that is purportedly negative about the game's development in a topic where I just want to discuss the playable character, but I still want to try to be as transparent as possible. I just want to discuss the idea of Nick Fury, and this is honestly this is where the kernel of the Nick Fury topic came from, was this email. Now, if they prove and verify their identity, we'll come back, we'll scrutinize all of this further, but right now, I'm going to leave quite a bit out of this email that just isn't pertinent, and that relates to this individual talking about the development history of Avengers. It's just not relevant. It's just not right now because we don't know if this is true. That's why it's a leak or it's a fake. And I personally, I'm fine discussing the concept of Nick Fury as a playable character. To me, like, that's okay, like, morally, right? What I'm not okay with is taking other information in this email from an individual that we don't have a verified identity from and dissecting what they say about the game's development history. To me, that's two different sides. But again, that's my own bias. That's my judgment call. That's just something we all have to live with. I'm just going with my judgment call, and I'm just being honest with you. But now I'm curious. I want to keep my ear to the ground. I want to pay attention, follow this through, and just see where it goes. And I want to ask you as well, the idea of a playable Nick Fury, what does that mean to you? You know what I mean? Like, the very concept of a playable Nick Fury, what is that? What does that mean to you? What would you want to see from a playable Nick Fury? How would Nick Fury handle in your mind? I feel like it's pretty straightforward. They have similar characters already in the game. I feel like they can hit the ground running with a Nick Fury, and I like the surprise of it. I just like that it kind of came out of nowhere, and, I admit I like little teases, and I like little surprise tickles, and that's absolutely what this is. Now, to my Avengers, to my patrons, thank you so much for your support and for making this content possible. As I said at the top of the video, you can follow the link in the description below, and you can support the channel today by becoming an Avenger on our Patreon. So thank you for considering. In addition to that, at Amazon, you can follow this link in the description below as well. My debut novel, 89, Instrument of Destruction, a science fiction novel, is available now. You can order physical copies or a Kindle copy on Amazon now. So thank you. And of course, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this content with your friends across social media. It all helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms and letting YouTube know, hey, let's recommend this channel more. So I do appreciate it. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye, everyone.